The morning sun spilled through the curtains, painting the kitchen in soft gold, but the warmth couldn't touch the chill in Tom's chest. He stood by the sink, coffee mug in hand, watching Emily knead dough for pancakes, her movements mechanical, her face a mask of focus. Their Cleveland home hummed with the quiet rhythm of a decade-long marriage, kids' toys scattered in the hall, a calendar pinned with soccer games and parent-teacher nights. Tom, a high school math teacher, had always found comfort in Emily's presence, her quick wit, the way her hazel eyes crinkled when she laughed. But that laugh had faded, replaced by a silence that clung like damp air. Last night, she'd slipped in at midnight, her coat damp from rain, muttering about a late meeting. Tom had nodded, swallowing the unease that coiled in his gut. Now, as she avoided his gaze, her fingers gripping the rolling pin too tightly, he felt it again, a shadow between them, sharp and unnamed. You seem off, he said, voice low, testing the waters. She paused, her shoulders stiffening, then flashed a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Just tired, Tom. Work's been a lot. Her words were smooth, but her hands trembled as she flipped a pancake. The kids, Sophie and Ben, bounded in, demanding juice, their chatter a fleeting distraction. Emily's relief was visible, her body relaxing as she poured their drinks. Tom watched, his heart heavy, noting the way her fingers brushed her phone, screen down, like a secret she was guarding. He wanted to ask more, to pull her close and demand the truth, but the moment dissolved in the clatter of plates. At school, grading quizzes, his mind kept drifting, her late nights, her new habit of locking her phone, the perfume she'd started wearing, one he didn't recognize. Emily, the woman who danced with him in their tiny apartment, who'd cried when they bought this house, felt like a ghost now. That evening, she kissed him goodnight, her lips barely grazing his, and he lay awake, the ceiling a canvas for his fears. When had his wife become someone he didn't know? Tom's mornings became a quiet vigil, each glance at Emily a search for clues. The Cleveland house, once a haven, felt like a stage where she played a part. She'd leave early, claiming client meetings, her graphic design job a ready excuse. Her perfume, sharp and unfamiliar, lingered in the air as she rushed out, her phone clutched tightly. Tom noticed her new rituals, whispered calls in the backyard, her thumb swiping notifications away when he entered the room. At dinner, Sophie's chatter about ballet and Ben's dinosaur facts filled the silence, but Emily's eyes were distant, her fork tracing circles in her mashed potatoes. "How's the new project?" Tom asked one evening, his tone casual but his pulse quickening. She flinched, just slightly, before answering. "Fine. Just demanding." Her voice was tight, like a wire stretched to snapping. He nodded, but his eyes caught the glow of her phone, a message flashing before she flipped it over. Later, washing dishes, he saw her step into the garage, phone pressed to her ear, her laughter soft but unmistakable, a sound she hadn't shared with him in months. His stomach twisted. He checked their phone bill online, heart pounding, and found it. Late-night texts to a number he didn't know, dozens in a week. Some sent at 2 a.m. "Who were you texting so late?" he asked at night, folding laundry, his voice steady despite the storm inside. She froze, her hands pausing on a sweater. "Just work stuff, Tom. You know how it is." But her eyes darted away, her fingers twisting the fabric. He didn't push, not yet, but the doubt grew, a weed choking his trust. At a school event, a friend mentioned seeing Emily at a downtown cafe, her hand brushing a man's arm, their heads close. "Probably a client," Tom muttered, but the words felt hollow, like a lie he told himself. Driving home, his knuckles white on the wheel, he recalled their last anniversary, her laughter, her hand in his under the stars. Now, that memory burned. He watched her sleep that night, her face serene, and wondered who she dreamed of. The clues were piling up, lipstick smudged on a glass, a receipt for a bar she hadn't mentioned, and each one carved a deeper wound in his heart. Rain hammered the roof of their Cleveland home, a relentless drumbeat matching the dread in Tom's chest. He'd left school early, his mind a tangle of suspicion, Emily's late nights, her guarded phone, the cafe sighting. He'd planned to confront her, but first he needed proof. Her office had called, asking why she'd taken the afternoon off, contradicting her client meeting excuse. Tom drove through the storm, wipers slashing, his heart a lead weight. When he pulled into their driveway, her car was there, rain streaking its hood. The house was too quiet, the kids at after-school programs. Then he heard it, a muffled laugh from upstairs, her voice, threaded with a warmth she hadn't shown him in months. His legs moved, heavy as stone, up the stairs. The bedroom door was ajar, and through the gap, his world shattered. Emily lay in their bed, sheets twisted around her, her body curled against a man with sharp features and dark hair. Their clothes were strewn across the floor, her blouse draped over his jeans. Tom's breath caught, a ragged gasp. The man saw him first, bolting upright, but Emily's eyes locked on Tom's, wide with horror. "Tom," she cried, clutching the sheet, her voice breaking. The man scrambled for his shirt, muttering, "I'm sorry, man. But Tom's glare silenced him. "Get out," Tom said, his voice low, trembling with rage. The man fled, shoes in hand, leaving Emily sobbing, her face flushed with shame. Tom stood frozen, the room spinning, her betrayal a blade in his gut. "How long?" he demanded, his voice cracking like glass. She stammered, "Tom, please, I didn't." "How fucking long, Emily?" he roared, tears spilling down his cheeks. She crumpled, her hands shaking. 8 months. It was a mistake, I swear. 8 months. Their anniversary, Sophie's recital, Ben's birthday, all tainted. He saw their life, her kisses, their vows, dissolve into lies. "In our bed," he whispered, his voice raw, eyes on the rumpled sheets. She reached for him, but he stepped back, her touch poison. "I trusted you," he said, choking on the words. He stumbled downstairs, rain blurring his vision, her sobs echoing behind him. The house, their home, felt like a grave. Tom didn't sleep that night, the rain's echo a cruel reminder of Emily's betrayal. He sat in their Cleveland living room, the couch sagging under his weight, staring at a photo of them at Sophie's first recital, Emily's smile, once his anchor, now a wound. His anger had cooled into a hollow ache, each heartbeat a question. Why? Morning came, gray and heavy. Emily was in the kitchen, eyes swollen, twisting a dish towel. "Tom," she whispered, "can we talk?" He nodded, jaw tight, bracing for her words. "I messed up," she said, voice trembling. "David, it was stupid. I felt trapped, like I was losing myself." Her words stung, trapped, as if he and the kids were a cage. "You felt trapped," he spat, his voice low, sharp. "What about me, Em? What about Sophie and Ben?" She flinched, tears spilling. "I love you all. I got lost." He wanted to scream, to shake her, but her brokenness mirrored his own. 8 months, he said, voice raw. "You lied for 8 months." She reached for his hand, but he pulled back, her touch a burn. "I'll do anything to fix this," she pleaded. Tom's eyes fell on Ben's dinosaur sketch on the fridge, Sophie's ballet shoes by the door. "You broke us," he said, barely a whisper. He told her to leave, to stay with her sister. She packed a bag, sobbing, promising to fight for them. Tom stayed for the kids, pasting on a smile as he drove them to school, their questions, "Where's Mommy?" like knives. At night, he sat alone, the house too big, too quiet. Therapy offered tools, but no cure for the trust she'd shattered. Emily called, begging for a chance, but Tom wasn't ready. He focused on Sophie and Ben, their laughter his only light. The future was a fog, but he walked through it, step by heavy step, rebuilding on the ruins she'd left.